And before we get into this video, if you would all do me a favor and please check out my friend Kishiitv over on Twitch. He played through this game with me and it's been a blast playing with him. He plays a lot of other games like Valorant, Osu, and Apex Legends on his Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Kishiitv. Go give him a follow, a sub, and if you don't, you'll be hearing from me. Hazelight is easily one of the best developers in the co-op gaming industry. You may have remembered their name from the other popular title they've created, A Way Out. In Q1-ish, about a couple months ago now, they released their second game, It Takes Two. And the way their games work is there are two parts of the story. Two parts of the story that aren't interchangeable. So you have two characters that do different things and they kind of help each other out. Now, It Takes Two, I believe, was probably one of the most slept on games of this year. Around the time it came out, it got like 8 or 9 out of 10s for reviews and barely anyone talked about it. I know there was a few popular streamers played the game through and whatnot, but I feel like there is not a lot of talk about the Hazelight games, and especially for this video, It Takes Two. Hello everyone, welcome back to another watermelon review. Today's game is It Takes Two, released on March 26th. And the first thing I really want to talk about is the goddamn graphics in this game are gorgeous. The models of this game aren't specifically great. There's not a lot of realism in the models. I feel like the developers kind of played with that and the level design of this game to make it feel as though it was still high quality, and I feel like it really turned out that way. They used great coloring and great lighting to really make the game vibrant and make the game pop. The theme play was outstanding for this game. A lot of the colors fit well with the theme and the story part or story portion that was going on, and on top of that, it really fit well with the real world quote-unquote picturing that was still a part of the game. It Takes Two has a very innovative way of telling the story, and you'll probably be thinking that's about the same thing as A Way Out. That's Hazelight's bread and butter, and I think they did especially well on It Takes Two. The acting isn't the best in some spots, and I think there's a lot of, well, not a lot, but a little bit of repeated lines here and there, which is fine. I don't expect them to come up with a new line or like a new position for things that happen quite often. Within the story, you're able to see the characters develop in real time. It kind of formulates like it's a real plot, almost as if it's real life. There's about 12 hours of gameplay, and sometimes a lot can change within 12 hours of real time. But I feel like they did really well with this, and I think the story, although cliche, was a great story. The gameplay for this game, it's kind of simple. There's about 5 buttons you use. I played with a controller, my buddy played with a controller, and we both thought that it was great. The game story fits the animations for the characters, so it's kind of goofy, it's kind of funny for the animations that they do. I feel like the story goes well with that. There's tons of themes for this game. My favorite were the dungeon crawler and the moon arcs. It's very nice to see Hazelight playing around with the themes of this game. I feel like they did a really good job in trying to make the story fit the themes. A lot of cooperation is required, and there's objects and different objectives in the game that show that the cooperation is required. And that's basically the whole theme of the story as well, is that cooperation is required between the characters. The different mechanics of the game make sense, even when jumping from theme to theme and jumping from tool to tool. They still make sense. It's not a lot of one-sidedness between who gets what tools and who is doing what. A lot of even cooperation. And the minigames are also cool to see. As for replayability, I feel like you can get 2 or 3 good runs out of this, depending on if you're a achievement hunter or not. There's 2 characters to play as, and like I said before, the characters do different things and have different objects, tools to be used. So that'll give you at least 2 runs with this game. And I really like that they have different objects and whatnot, because it makes sense for the cooperation. In some places of the game, I feel like there could have been one person to do an objective or make something happen if it were simple. Now, Hazelight made it more than that, and so thus it required a cooperation. One thing to note is that the story does not change depending on what character you pick. I know it may be a little obvious, the story does not change whether you are one or the other. And that will conclude this review of It Takes Two. I felt like this game was very well put together and very well written. I would give this game a whole 5 watermelons. One thing I would note about the price is that if you're planning on playing with a buddy, you don't have to spend $80 between you guys. You can just spend $40 and play with the Game Pass. I feel like Hazelight has done that very well with their games, and I would like to see that done a lot more with other developers. A lot of times, if you want to play co-op with a game, you'll have to buy 2 copies, and that kind of sucks. Hazelight incorporated the Friend Pass. You could just download the game, spot your boy $20, and both of you would be able to play. That would be all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week.
Spend a lot of time on my own. Don't go outside, locked up in my room. Life switched up, don't know where to go. After all this time, you're still in my phone. Traded so much time and got so far. Like things ain't changed, stuck at the start.